Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pod live here from New Holstein High School. We're in some closet. We're not sure. We think Nye lives here. He might live here. We saw a cod earlier, but
there was a cod earlier. I had to follow a maze to get here. A series of 3 riddles I had to answer.
Yeah,
we're in some room.
I'm not exactly.
Hey, but
sure.
we made it.
We're here, getting live on the pod. It's off the ground.
Yeah, this is week 1 on the pod, folks. This week, we're gonna talk about the introduction of the pod, just some history and the legacy, how it came about, what we're doing here, why we're doing it.
Folks, this is some stuff you gotta know. You just gotta know.
Easily.
We're going to get wild.
Oh, yeah. Some local sports, a fall sports recap, football, volleyball, cross country. We're really not sure about cross country, but we'll figure it out. And soccer. Also, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend, the Latvian legend, Kristaps Porzingis.
Just a baller.
Wow.
Just taking the league.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Tip Dunk's Rookie of the Year. Is he the Rookie of the Year? The Knicks' new franchise player. How Rappaport just gets nutty about him.
Oh, goodness.
Rappaport.
He's something to listen to.
Oh, boy. Yeah, should the Knicks trade Melo? A question that everyone's talking about. And Melo, ball hog. He's a ball hog.
Oh, definitely. Watched him live on Saturday.
Easily.
Definitely.
All right.
I want to talk all about that. I want to pick your brains about watching the Latvian legend in Cream City.
Cream City. All right, well, folks, here we go. Introduction of the pod, the history. Well, Nielsen, a little bit of history can you give us here on this pod?
It all started, lately we've been listening to some podcasts about sports, Sky Jordan, Skylar Firestein, a.k.a. Sky Jordan.
Yeah, easily.
Mr. Colin Scholes, just a New Holstein golfing legend. Yeah. We've all been talking about these pods we're listening to about sports, and I brought up the idea about how wouldn't it be sweet if we could get something off the ground on New Holstein, talking about New Holstein sports, talking about, just sports in general, just giving us an outlet to talk about things. And we've been talking about it in around school, right? We've been talking about it, and I honestly think there's a larger number of people that want to be on the pod than will actually listen to our pod.
It will be out of hand. We're going to get everybody, you name it, folks. They'll be here in this closet. It's just going to be a legacy.
Yep. Everybody will know the answers to all the riddles to find the closet by the end because everybody wants to be on the pod.
Everybody knows.
And so I just brought it up and to Skylar, a.k.a. Sky Jordan, and Colin about possibly getting this pod off the ground. And they thought it was a good idea. We talked to Scott Nye, the business guy. He led us to the closet, had all the good stuff for us. Yep. He's over there on his headphones just maintaining, doing some work for the game tonight. And so we've been talking for the past week about how we get this thing off the ground. And Scott and I said he's got everything set up. And so we showed up here. It's about 3:30 on a Tuesday. Yeah. The club is going up on the Tuesday.
Oh, easily.
The closet's going up.
Essentially, folks, this was too easy not to be doing. It's like, why haven't we been doing this since we were in high school?
Just facepalm.
Don't worry about it. We're here now. We're here.
I think it more specifically started when Nielsen over here showed us the Bill Simmons podcast when Rappaport came on and getting nutty about Kristaps Porzingis and the Knicks fans getting jacked up about those tip dunks.
Oh, easily. Tip dunks from Porzingis.
But Porzingis did get dunked upon. And the thing is, I'm going to save this for Porzingis, but, everybody in the school is going wild about it. And I have some stats that I actually think are true. I don't know if they're true, but we're going to talk about those when we get to the Porzingis. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So basically, we can thank Porzingis for this. And we're actually, I heard that we're trying to get a Latvian flag for the closet because Porzingis is from Latvia.
Yeah, Latvian flag in the closet with his head in the middle, folks. We'll send you a pic. We're going to have a Twitter page.
Yeah, we got to get on the Twitter space.
Yeah, we'll let
Instagrams.
You know. We'll let you know those episodes coming up. And we actually have one more person, Brady Hallbach, a.k.a. Hull Bay. He's coming on the podcast. He wanted to ball today. I guess ball is life. That's what they do say nowadays. But
yeah, who knows? I don't know what he was doing.
I don't know.
We're just getting the pod off the ground first day. Not a big deal.
No.
So, that's basically how it came to be. Should we get maybe into a little bit of a sports recap?
Yeah,
I think we got to do a little more research about volleyball and cross country, but I bet you with the two big shooters in the room, we could probably talk about football and soccer, give a recap.
Easily. We'll do that right now, folks. We'll start with football, like Nielsen said over here.
Yeah.
Great season in my mind. Made it to the playoffs first time in 5 years.
5 years, I think. I'm not sure. It's either 4 or 5 years.
5 years, yep. You're right on that.
Big time scenario, 5-5 overall. Skylar, tell us a little bit about what it's like to be in the trenches, just getting dirty in the trenches.
Yes. Well, folks, I did play center, and let me tell you, some games were just challenging from the start, especially that last game against Roncalli. Let me tell you, Roncalli, a physical team, and that game right there, we had to win that game, and we did everything we can.
It was I think, the leadership on the team throughout the year really shined through or shone through. I'm not the proper English. Hoffy's not here to correct it.
Yeah.
I'm just a social studies teacher. Don't know a lot of that English, so I might mess up a word here and there. People, don't pick on me, please. But that leadership kind of shone through a little bit, or shined through, however you want to say it. And I think everybody was able to rally, and I think really wanted to make this a playoff season. Right. Although you didn't get through round one of the playoffs, there was this finally after 4 or 5 years of being out of the playoffs, the Huskies football is back on the map.
Yeah, we're back, and
new conference, new teams are getting a first look at, and I think next year we'll be even more prepared. I think.
Well, I think also it comes from last year. We would lose, and everybody was just kind of like, all right, it's all right, we'll come back next week. But that kind of really never happened. And then this year, I just feel like every week after, we just started over and knew our goal was still, we could still accomplish our goal. So that's kind of what stuck with me throughout the year, I'd say.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Now, I might mess this up, but I know that the team was pretty successful as far as like all conference awards.
Yes.
I think both Tyler Stadler, or all three, Tyler Stadler, Josh Berg, and Jacob Kaiser all won first team all conference, and Devin Shizzle won second team.
Yes.
I'm almost positive it's true, and I think for the EWC, Jacob Kaiser won Defensive Player of the Year.
He did, yes. Co-Defensive Player of the Year.
Co-Defensive Player of the Year. Those are some huge accolades, and I think we're pulling up some stuff right now on the stuff. But either way, that just goes to show the heart of some of these players, and some of the the dedication that it takes, to try to be the best and wanting to be the best, that drive to get those things done. And it was I know from a fan who watched many of the games, it was an exciting season. It was one of the more special seasons that we've had in 4 or 5 years in New Holstein.
Hopefully this gets the football team off the ground here, not making the playoffs in 5 years, finally make it. Maybe they'll have the confidence, teams coming up, to do what we did and
maybe hopefully attract more players.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. And they're obviously going to be held to the higher standard now with this last year being a very successful year, so they're going to want to uphold that success.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I agree. Any other final thoughts on the football recap?
Well, I was just going to mention Tyler Stadler and Jacob Kaiser. I'm almost positive made or were nominated for the All-Region team.
Okay.
And we're nominated for the All-State team. It might be the other way around. I'm not
We're
sure.
going to fact check that, and maybe next week when we'll get a little clarification. This is our first pod. We're just trying to get off the ground. Don't have all the stats we think we're going to need, but we'll just wing it actually, and just hope we're right. And it's just not even going to be a problem. So we're gonna try to get after it and get the right stuff for you. But if we mess up occasionally, don't get upset. Just deal with it. You can tweet at us and tell us how we're wrong. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Do what you want.
So great job, football team. I'd like to congratulate all the coaches and players who put in a really hard season, practicing, that long season and having success at the end of the season.
It was just all worth it in the end. I mean, even though we did lose to the state champs, so it's kind of it's not as bad as you think, but we did lose to the state champs, and nobody was going to beat them. Amherst, just a powerhouse team.
Yeah, big team.
They're nationally ranked, so I think there's only so much you can do against a team like that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They were blowing out teams. Most of the games all season, their stars didn't even play the second half. So I mean, that's where they get you. But,
that's fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
It is fair.
Colin, that was a big one. That was a big old C that I got in there.
Sorry about that, folks.
Colin, first year out for soccer, correct?
Oh yeah, first year since the fourth grade, if I can recall correctly.
Oh, so you went. So you played. So you do have a little history of playing a little bit of that soccer.
I've dabbled a bit in that footwork area,
Easily, yeah.
Can you tell us about the season, just a recap?
Well, I think it was a great season, definitely an improvement from last year, even though last year was also a pretty successful season. We ended up with a record of 17-3-5, only 3 losses on the year, 17 wins, scored 115 goals.
My goodness.
It's very rare to see a team score over 100 goals.
You guys would light up
goals. A year. Oh, yeah, we scored over 10 goals in 5 or 6 games. It was nutty or unreal.
Yeah. It was unreal. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the bigger games, a couple of the bigger games, maybe towards the playoffs or conference play?
Well, I think one of our biggest games was against Green Bay Notre Dame. The first time we played them, we played them up in Notre Dame on their turf field. May I mind? Probably one of the best fields I've ever played on. It's pretty nice.
Wait,
you got to go check it out.
We'll get directions. We'll tweet out directions to the Notre Dame soccer stadium where you all can go out and take soccer balls and kick them around the stadium.
We'll get the free candy van for a trip up there. It'll just be great.
Yep, that was a pretty exciting game. We ended up winning that, although we were the underdog in that game, the clear underdog. Notre Dame, just a powerhouse in the state. I'm pretty sure all of their starting lineup was all seniors, so it was pretty scary going up against that team at first. But we hung with it with our young team.
Yeah.
Even though we have a lot of seniors, we still got a lot of sophomores, juniors that are coming ready to make the big step.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some stats here. Jacob Conrad, 34 goals on the season. Tyler Schultz, 29 goals on the season. We got Josue Valenzuela with 23 assists leading the team. Tyler Schultz with 15, and Stephen Clement just a goals against average of .77.
Yeah, it was really great to have him back. His junior year, which was last year, he went, to play internationally. So obviously he's a very talented goaltender, and it was just great to have him back.
He's tall too, which as a fan watching the game, lengthy. He's got length. You gotta gotta be able to bend that ball to get around him. The big fellas in the goal, you can't get it past him. Goals against .77. That's like not even a goal a game.
Yeah, exactly. We had a lot of shutouts thanks to Steven and our strong defense.
Yeah, a little bit of a hiccup towards the end of the season, a loss to Sturgeon Bay. Realistically, really didn't even matter in the seeding because they're in a different
division than us.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're still a very great team. They were in our conference, so that was our only conference loss was to Sturgeon Bay. And I think what really helped us get the number 1 seed was that win against Notre Dame.
Oh yes. Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that win against Notre Dame, we knocked them out of the top 5 in Division 3, and we ourselves actually moved into the 4th spot in Division 3, so that was pretty great to go up all the way to Green Bay and beat them. But then, kind of a sad part, we had to play them again in sectionals, and we ultimately lost to them.
That was a cold game, too.
Oh, yeah, cold and windy.
Cold and windy. I had just the umbrella of trying to sell tickets for that game. It was a survival out there.
Was it 1-0 in the end?
Yeah, 1-0. 1-0.
1-0.
Man.
Big game. So you said earlier that there's a lot of young kids coming back. Also, I think will there be a coaching regime change, right?
Yes, Mr. Labs is stepping down as the boys' coach. This was his last season, so it was great, just to have that really great last season for him to go out. He's a very great coach.
Absolutely, just a huge success here in New Holstein.
He had that state championship in 2007, I believe.
Yep, absolutely.
It's taken many teams to stay. It's just unreal.
I mean, the New Holstein soccer program as a whole, from youth up until high school, has really, I've been here like 7-8 years, and it's always been, relatively or very good teams that we haven't had too big of a lull. We're always being competitive in regionals, sectionals, and obviously at the state tournament. Nathan Labs, we haven't talked about, the girls' sport, but had in the past 3 years has 2 state appearances for the girls' team, and that's just, wonderful. So I think, from the pod family that we got going on here, I think we can all wish Coach Labs the best of luck, and we thank you for all the time and energy you spent coaching our teams.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So we're off and running. I think that was awesome. I just had a good time doing that.
That was great. Volleyball now, I think we're going to talk about. A 6-10 season for the volleyball team this year. Not as well as they probably have hoped. In the past, they've went farther in the playoffs this year, losing their first game in the WIA Regional to St. Mary Springs, 3-1. But overall, 4-3 in conference, so they did have a winning record in conference, took 4th in conference. Not too shabby, but,
No, I think it was a younger team.
Yes.
Coach Zelli put a lot of faith into some younger players, and that's always harder. And to be honest, we're in a new conference, and that conference, although we got rid of Waupun from the games I went to, I think maybe our conference was a little bit better at volleyball, a little more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Just as I think it will be when we give our fall sports preview with basketball.
Yeah.
Sure we are now competing with more schools our size, but in a few of these sports, it's going to be a little bit more competitive than it used to be, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So we had girls volleyball. Not as well as I hope, and I just know from the conversations I've had with the girls, it wasn't as good a season as they'd hoped. But a lot of fun to be had there, a lot of success. Just kind of playing the game and doing what they wanted to do. Got a little feedback here, folks, in the closet. Sometimes we don't know radio frequencies coming in from outside. We don't know if we're in a fallout shelter or where we're at here. We don't know. Yeah. We had to follow the directions to get here.
Well, no stats on Wish Sports here of the girls volleyball, but we know Zelly does keep stats, so we'll try to find.
We gotta dig him up.
What kind of stats do you keep for volleyball, though? I'm just curious.
Blocks, kills, aces, I think. Yeah, serving percentages,
attack, kills, blocks, solo blocks, sets, serves.
We need to find this information out.
Yeah, we'll get that too.
But the pod family is going to get after it. We're going to go find Coach Ben Zelli and see if we can't locate some of this information so we can relay it to all the Husky volleyball fans. One thing I can say about the volleyball that I almost forgot to say, but that's because I'm old. I've been around since dirt was invented.
My goodness, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. But the Husky fan section at some of the volleyball games. I don't even know
just
if it was
ridiculous.
If it was against Kiel or whatever. Chilton or Kiel, that epic game. I mean, that was loud. Yeah. Everybody was organized.
Yeah, folks, Chilton was undefeated in the conference, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I believe they were.
No, wait. No. Hold on. No, they did lose.
Well, I think they were undefeated when they came to play us there, though.
Either way, we took them to 5 games?
All 5 games, yeah.
Wow.
And just the student section the entire time just yelling, being positive, doing good things.
I think out of all the fall sports, we get the most students at the volleyball games.
I think so as well. I mean, you have an opportunity to be loud in the gym. And to be honest, what I'm hoping is that fandemonium, if that's a word,
look it up. Look it up.
If not, we're going to make it a word on the pod. And we'll call it fandemonium. That's when people get wild and unruly about things in gyms or on fields or wherever. And so it was just awesome to see, and I think were you at the game? Tell me what it was like just in the trenches in the fan section, just getting wild.
Scott, I believe you were just a bystander, just videotaping the game.
Yeah. I was broadcasting game on the good old NFHS network. Let me remind you, NFHS network covers our Husky sports, so make sure you tune in, especially tonight, even though nobody's listening right now, to the Chilton game. But yeah, Husky Sports, NFHS network. But yeah, by the way, I was up there recording, and let me tell you, I wish I could have been a part of that student section because I now regret it, even though it was for the better one, because we got that great game.
Ooh, easily.
But
but I was actually in the student section.
I saw.
To be honest, I can't even remember a volleyball game in my high school career where I did not lose my voice by the end of the night. It's an unreal experience.
And weren't there 2 colored shirts that you were supposed to have? I mean, the organization, and I wish Brady was here because he was the mastermind or one of the masterminds behind this, orchestrating this 2-shirt change thing. And I was like, what?
Yeah, you wear a white shirt, and then once they win a game, I do believe, then you take it off and use it as a rally towel.
Yeah, you got
something like that. Something like that.
A la Pittsburgh Steelers terrible towel.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but yeah.
Or the rap song by P.D. Pablo.
Yeah.
Yeah, P.D. Pablo's a legend. I never thought we'd be talking about the first pod, P.D. Pablo. But we're back talking about P.D. Pablo. Just a great time. Yeah. And I don't mean to take away anything from the girls who played a tremendous game. I mean, that game was just a nail biter, so epic. Yeah. I want to congratulate the girls on their season as well, but that game was just making it so enjoyable and fighting so hard. You saw a lot of heart in that game. Yeah. Wanting to beat I guess an old rival turned new rival in Chilton. Now that we're back in the same conference.
Yeah, we're back.
Even though I'm not going to be here next year, I'm still looking forward to the volleyball season next year because they'll have those more experienced players, and it's just going to be a wild season. I
think and Mr. Zelli he's a competitor. He wants to win, and he always has good teams. And so we can definitely look forward to next season.
Of course. Yes.
I don't know. Is it time to talk about
the Latvian legend?
Yeah, the Latvian legend.
The Latvian legend.
The stat, and to introduce our first pod, we thought since this for some reason this 19-year-old Latvian is responsible. He's one of the genesis. He's the genesis of why we're maybe doing this, because we heard people get rowdy about him on the internet, and we want to get rowdy about sports on the internet, right? I mean, and one of the stats that I'm not even going to fact check, I don't even know how you fact check it, is I'm willing to bet, besides maybe Latvia or New York City, New Holstein has per capita the highest percentage of Porzingis fan per capita. I just don't think it's any higher.
No,
here. I definitely agree with that.
Well, folks, you heard. Let me explain to you. Okay, so we're having a fantasy basketball draft, and Mr. Nielsen over here talks about, when do you guys plan on taking Porzingis? Something like that.
I believe my quote was, how early do you guys think I'm taking Porzingis? Yeah. This is before the season even started.
Before the season, before we even knew he was just a legend. Now, folks, Nielsen got him in the 11th round. Steal in my mind. Steal.
He's getting double-doubles almost every night.
Double-double
He's
machine.
almost average in double-double. So I'm getting tons of fantasy points about Porzingis.
Yeah, 14.6 points per game. 8.9 rebounds, 1 assist, just a legend.
Woo!
Wow.
And what I think here is that, he's such a huge fan because everybody, you hear in the hallways, people get their hands raised up and just yell Porzingis.
Yeah, every time we see each other, just Porzingis is just a topic to talk about.
Now, you bet. One thing that I want to talk to you guys about is Colin and Skylar, a.k.a. Sky Jordan, went down to the Milwaukee Bucks last Saturday. Cream City. Yep. To watch the the rap horn. To get to watch the New York Knicks basketball take on the Bucks basketball. Fear the Deer. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks end up winning, which is great for Wisconsin sports, but you guys had an opportunity to see Porzingis. Can you tell me about that experience?
Well, let me tell you about the first thing that this man, Porzingis, did.
No.
He got the ball, near the baseline in the corner. Just takes a little jab step dribble. Just slams it. Just baseline jam. I was getting nuts.
We were going nuts.
So nuts.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And folks, let me tell you, between me and Colin, I'm pretty sure there were 3 other people who were actually cheering for Porzingis. 3 people had Latvian flags that were holding them up and, just waving them around, just having a great time.
The Latvian legend.
That's all we cheered for. Only when Porzingis scored, we cheered for the Knicks.
You don't want the Knicks to win.
Yeah, we booed Melo when he wouldn't pass the ball to Porzingis.
Yeah, Melo, ball hog.
Do you think Melo should just feed the rock and just get over his ego and feed the rock to Porzingis every chance he gets?
Easily.
He needs to leave the Knicks. He needs to just leave.
That's what we're going to talk about. So one of the things. Well, let's get back to this game first.
Yeah, let me explain to you. So we're driving there, and just the build-up, the hype was just unreal, And we park at the parking ramp, and I'm just getting I'm just going nuts. The words cannot describe, honestly.
We had to get one round of that hashtag Porzingis rap song out before
before
we arrived.
So we're waiting there. We have to go through security now. All the security measures have been taken around the world of sports, which is good in a way. We don't want to make sure everybody's safe. But anyway, we get into security. We're waiting there. We're waiting there for them to take our tickets. We're like, why are we waiting? We just want to get in there to see Porzingis.
You want to see that warm up. You want to see that warm up Porzingis action.
It is like 6:00. Yeah. We got here an hour and a half early to the game. Got to see my man Porzingis.
You got to see how many laps he's doing in warm ups.
Finally, we get in there, and I just could not contain myself on the escalator. I honestly ran to our sections and. Sadly, we took the long way around. Now, folks, we got up the escalator. All we had to do was turn left, and we'd be right there. But no, we went all the way around, and I was just getting pissed.
I was
pissed.
Hey, come on now.
Hey, but let me...
You're getting angry.
Let me describe the situation to you. We have not been to the BMO Harris Bradley Center since the Bucks were green and purple.
Yes, green
and since the Charlotte Bobcats were a team.
Yeah,
that's old school.
So I mean, this is
old school.
That's like 6 or 7 years in the making.
Yeah.
So you're a little confused. You're a little excited because, and to be honest, I talked to Colin about this. Like, I don't think anybody was more excited for that game in the whole building than Skylar, a.k.a. Sky Jordan, to see Porzingis.
Yeah, that was the reason why I talked to my buddy, cousin's boyfriend. Yeah, I got a man on the inside.
Yeah.
He works for the Bucks.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. So they hooked you up with the tickets for the Porzingis action, and Sky was just jacked up.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you had to get jacked up. But now the real question is, we're talking about, we love Porzingis, which we do. We're in the closet here. We're in the closet in New Holstein, Wisconsin, talking about how much we love the Latvian legend, the legend out of Latvia or whatever his name is. He's 19 years old, just lighting up the league. Everybody's booing him on draft day. But the big question now is he a Rookie of the Year candidate?
Man, I think he could be. I think he could be. If he keeps performing at the level he is, maybe even gets better.
I don't know if there's any rookie more in the highlight reel than Porzingis right now at this stage in the
Winslow,
season.
I don't even know what Winslow's doing.
Yeah, garbage. Okafor, garbage.
Yeah, Okafor's suspended, punching people, can't even handle being in the league.
Driving over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, what rookie leaders? I'm going to rookie leaders on NBA.com. This is live, folks. I'm looking up stats.
Yeah, I don't
live.
haven't even heard of any other rookie that's been doing good.
Well, the only one that I can think of is Karl Anthony Towns, maybe. Yeah,
I mean,
Jahlil Okafor does have more points per game, but he's probably going to get suspended.
Yeah,
Karl Anthony Towns is averaging only 0.2, 14.8 to 14.6 points per game. So I think Porzingis is in
the running.
And who would have thought, when everybody's booing him in New York or Chicago, wherever they had the NBA draft, about Porzingis. So now it begs the question: is he a franchise player?
So the Knicks. This is what I'm thinking here. The Knicks. They need to get rid of Melo.
Exactly. You got to lose Melo before he becomes the franchise.
Folks, Melo's the key to this. Melo does not pass the ball. He shoots the ball and misses the ball. So when Melo's traded. Now Porzingis, it's his show. Now Porzingis, he can just shoot every night, just score over 20 points.
Just get about 12 tip dunks a game.
Yeah. So are you saying he turns into the white Melo, or are you thinking he's better?
He's better than Melo. Melo garbage.
He is a ball hog. You said.
He's at the end of his career.
Now, so the Knicks, arguably with Melo or without Melo, I mean, they are in the middle of the standings in the East, which the East is sneaky good this year. Nobody saw the East coming. Sneaky good. Now, we got some background noise. You folks are going to have to ignore that. We're going to try to edit that out.
Sounds like a 1950s video game.
Yeah, like a ping or something on the Atari.
Yeah.
That's probably back in the closet. We probably got that in storage back here in the closet.
Do we got that back here?
It's some vintage action in here. Where was I? Forgot what I was talking about. We were talking about
franchise player.
If the Knicks start to not compete for a playoff spot, do you trade Melo for draft picks and rebuild around Porzingis?
That's an option.
It's risky.
It is risky because Melo's good at times when he's making shots, but when he's not, he's a ball hog. And the Bucks. When we were at the game, the Knicks were absolutely terrible. All right, it
was a sore sight.
They could not
sight for sore eyes,
hit
really.
a shot. Let me tell you, Porzingis either he had a bad game, right? Only 12.
The Bucks have been on a roll though. They won last night by 1 point. John Henson just blocking people.
Stuffed. Yeah,
John Henson.
There. Yeah, the Bucks. Great franchise. We're going to talk about that next week. The Bucks.
Yeah, we're going to get the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, we'll have a special guest. Tyler Petrie, a.k.a. Cheeks.
We got to get, Cheeks has got to get on the
Zach Thiel, a.k.a. Stretch. We might get a call in.
Yeah, talk about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. Anyway, well.
You know what? I gotta add my 2 cents in here to this franchise player action.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if I were the Knicks, I would definitely trade Melo because he's at the end of his prime, at the end of his career.
Easily, yeah.
Porzingis just starting his career, promising man, just a legend.
Yeah. And I think, Colin, you might be right about that. You could get something for Melo. For a contender. Like if someone wants to step in and literally make a push in the West or the East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could get somebody good for Melo. It's not like you're going to get some no-namer.
His contract is huge, so that has to be dealt with. But that's above my pay grade. I can't be doing that.
We can't tell you about that.
But I'm surprised by him, and what I love is the fanfare that he's receiving in New Holstein.
Yes,
I mean he's going first round in fantasy drafts. Yep. Everybody's talking about Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, folks, I took him first round in my fantasy basketball draft. Best decision I've made in my life.
Colin wanted him, I think.
Yeah, he did. I made a bet with him. I just had to be like, Colin,
yeah, I just didn't want to deal with the consequences of stealing Porzingis from Skyler.
Yeah. He just been ruined. He would have just hated life.
Yeah, I would have hated
for weeks if he didn't get Porzingis on the draft.
Yep.
But I'm lucky enough to have him on my fantasy team. actually doing well in my fantasy. I'm not here to talk about my fantasy basketball team, but I am like 4 or 5-1. No worries there.
No worries, yeah.
But yeah,
No
Porzingis.
worries.
I mean, you're probably, to be honest, fans out there. I know we don't have any fans yet.
We will.
Hopefully, people will listen to this and just get used to it. You might hear about Porzingis every time we do a podcast.
Oh, yeah, sure. And other things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about college basketball.
Yeah, we're going to get that.
Great.
And this year just a little preview. We've been exchanging number ones. I mean, people are beating the number one team. It's Kentucky lost.
Yeah.
Or North Carolina lost. It's been. Michigan
Great.
State's now number one. They can get beat. The tough Big Ten. Maryland's looking good.
Yeah, it's going to
be. I can go on and on. I can't even talk about it.
Let me tell you, March Madness, folks, that's just going to be a wild time in here.
There's going to be some epic pods.
Yeah, we'll get some NFL in there,
Yeah, maybe the college football playoff coming around here. That's definitely something
college
to talk
football
about.
playoff. I actually, not being a Packer fan, I would like to get your input maybe next week about, are the Packers just not that good? Could that be a thing? And we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
But I think we've been blathering now for a good while.
30 minutes, yeah.
So we're gonna maybe try to sign off here on the first pod.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, here we're coming live here from the closet. The Holstein High School.
Yep. We got to get the cots out.
Yeah. Cots. All right. Well, this is all for us today on our first pod, the pod.
The pod.
All right. That's it.
Thanks, folks.